Okay, welcome to this sponsor presentation by Tengu about their platform and how to make data most useful. We have Jenno Bogaert here, and he will explain what Tengu is and how it can help business analysts and data analysts. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone, thank you Patrick for the announcement. I will tell you this intermezzo in this 30 minutes. I will explain more about Tengu, what Tengu is, what we are doing, and at the end you have the possibility to ask some questions to the maker of our platform, Gregory Segbroek. Just thumbs up in the chat box if you are present to see with how many people we are in this presentation. First of all, I will tell you more about the history of Tengu. We existed 7 years ago in an academic environment. Our two co-founders, Gregory and Thomas, were doing a PhD, and they were thinking about and automating data engineering tasks, and that's how Tengu started. 4 years ago, we changed to a corporate environment, and then we started to have consultancy projects for a lot of companies. And then we saw that there was a demand to have a data management platform, data ops platform, and that's what we are right now today. We are presenting and offering a data ops platform. So to explain you more, if someone asks me, hey, do you like to wait longer than 1 hour in a restaurant? Immediately I'm saying, no, I do not like that. And I assume that everyone has the same opinion. Nobody likes to wait 1 hour longer than in a restaurant. And the reason that you have to wait a long time in the restaurant is because the process is the process in the kitchen is has a lot of malfunctions. The chef doesn't know where the ingredients are. He doesn't know how to work with the tools. There is miscommunication between the staff in the restaurant itself. And that's why the mountain of tickets increase, and you have to wait a long time on your food to eat. And that's exactly what we are seeing in a lot of companies who are handling data. A lot of data profiles and stakeholders has to wait a long time for the tickets as well. And this is because there is a lot of dependency on other data teams and data roles. Consequence of this is that there are a lot of meetings that people, data roles and stakeholders have to just know very simple questions. Simple questions like who has the ownership of the data and where is the data? And that's what we are doing with Tengu. We reduce the waiting time of those profiles. How we are doing this? We are doing this by just visualizing the fully data landscape. Whenever the data landscape is visualized, then you see the data profiles can solve much faster the tickets. And they can just focus on the core business. For a data scientist, it means making pipelines. For a data analyst, it means getting good insights for the reporting. This is actually the mock-up of our platform. It's very clear that you have data alignment. The core of our platform is to make the data get the data from point A to point B. And a sales, to give you an example of one of our clients, a sales team at an insurance company was having a lot of difficulties with preparing their sales meetings. They had no access or no knowledge to do something with it. And the reason for this was a problem that they have no real-time tracking of the two different databases that they told us they want data alignment with the business, and in this case, the sales department. We provided them with those capabilities, and the result was that the sales team could prepare their meetings with live data and increase their efficiency enormously. You see this in this mock-up. You see on the left side, you see data sources like HubSpot, Google Sheets, Stripe as well, and they're just connected with a database, ProgSQL or ArangoDB. It doesn't matter, but that's what you're doing. You bring the data from point A to point B. Whenever we start to work with a client, we just look at we try to identify the challenge. Whenever we find the challenge, we just couple it with our platform. We just make sure that our platform can answer the challenge that a lead has. So this was a very short introduction of our platform. And right now you can ask Gregory some more questions about the platform itself. Does anyone have some questions?
No questions so far.
Okay, Gregory, can you tell me something more about the data analytic layer of our platform? Gregory?
Gregory, you're on mute.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, can you tell me something more about the data analytics layer that our platform has?
Yeah, so like told and mentioned is that a lot of customers, they have very different problems. Yeah? Now, it's quite funny that actually the solution to those problems are often the same. And that's why we built this new feature on top of our data ops platform, and simply to just bring data from one point to another point. Now, since you can mix and match those type of small micro pipelines, it's possible, and you can easily create many different complex use cases as well with it. Because you just simply can intermingle and you can mix different pipelines, and you just can connect different pipelines as well. Now, a small example, you have an API with a customer database. For instance, we use HubSpot to track our customers and to track different deals. If you connect those customers and you just push them to a specific database, a document store, from that point, you can simply use it in scripts, you can simply use it in dashboarding tools, you can simply use the numbers and the figures and the records present in that particular database. But of course, you can also just connect it and move the data to another point, and that could be interesting, because then you can start isolating bits and pieces of your entire data ecosystem as well. Because not everybody needs to have access to the entire HubSpot database. Not everybody needs access to your customer files, to your billing system, to your whatever type of system that you want to just open up the data. But with our new system, with our new functionality, it's possible to just give it in an easy manner to your customers and to your data analysts as well. And we think this can be a first step in solving the data literacy problem within large companies. Data literacy is a serious issue, and it's not the problem of one particular person. It's possible that it's just because you talk in a different type of language with each other. Data engineers, they have their own taxonomy, they have their own terminology, they have their own whatever to talk about data. But a data analyst or a business analyst, they all speak in different types of just the terminology that they use. A customer doesn't need to be the same when a data engineer talks about it. You see, and with this type of system, not only we have a real-time view of what's really happening, how every pipeline is constructed and how everything is connected. But it's also running and syncing all the data by itself. And this, of course, there are other technologies that are able to do it, like you have Fivetran and Stitch Data and a lot of different type of platforms. But how we differ from those is that when you want to draw outside of the box, and when you want to draw outside of the box and outside of the framework that you want to use, it's very difficult to take ownership of the orchestration and take ownership of really the different type of connectors. And since the Tengu platform, it will install, it will deploy for you your specific data orchestration layer as well. And then when you have data engineers and data developers present in your team, it's very easy to just start using this data orchestration layer as well. And that's how we try to just provide functionality to not only the business analysts and data analysts, but also to data scientists and the data engineers as well, in one specific data ops platform.
Gary, data analysts, do they need technical knowledge to manage this?
No, not at all. Not at all. Of course, they need to have a conceptual view and a conceptual understanding of what they are trying to achieve. But in fact, it's as simple as okay, I need this piece of information, and I need to have it in a centralized manner. And the thing that you then need to understand is, okay, to have it in a centralized manner, yeah, it has to be put into the same data store. You can ask a data engineer or somebody else from your team to just set up this data store, but it's very easy with the Tengu platform, in fact, to just do it yourself. If there is space, if there is whatever, then you can just use the self-servicing functionality as well. And then it's just connecting the dots.
Agree. The platform has automation as well. What does this mean, automation in this definition?
Yeah, it means a couple of things. First of all, with regards to this new functionality, the automation is in the scheduling. And it's possible to just ask for a sync every day at 8 o'clock or whatever time. You can also manually sync it, but then it's not automated, of course. That's one piece of the automation thing. Another thing is that we keep track on everything that's already connected to Tengu. And so about your, we keep track on the entire architecture. And that's also in an automated fashion. Because what we try to achieve with the entire platform is we don't want to be a burden, we want to be just simply useful. If people only want to see and look at the graph, that's fine with us. If they want to manage and administer all the different technologies with their own tools, it's fine. Then we just watch us and keep watch on everything that's happening on that particular system. If somebody else creates a table in a database, then we will notice it and just add it to the graph. And that's also in an automated fashion.
And Gary, the platform has a functionality to have a self-service functionality. What does that mean? We see Google Sheets, HubSpot, Stripe. What do we have more?
Yeah, we have a couple of more technologies that we already support. Now, for specific for data analysts and business analysts, I think the integrations with the APIs and with particular database systems, data stores, are the most interesting. And we have a range of different databases that we already support. Of course, we're working further to just reach a certain amount of technologies that are very useful and are already being used, like Redshift, the data warehouses, Snowflake, very popular data warehouses as well. Those are coming in the next couple of weeks. And then different APIs. But in fact, there's nothing theoretically, of course, except for time. There's nothing that if you can interact with it from our cloud infrastructure, then it's possible to integrate with it. And so it can be a simple API, it can be very difficult APIs like the HubSpot API, it's a very large one. But if we can connect with it, then we can create an integration for it. And that's also something we would like to have, of course. We would like to hear from you guys and girls what type of integrations that you really would need to be useful for you guys.
Another question for you, Gregory. For business analysts, does this work as an ETL tool?
It's kind of like an ETL tool, except for the T part, and so we don't transform it. And so we are firm believers of the new concept of just extract and load, and the transformation will happen afterwards. And that's a movement that's been put in place a couple of years ago. Since data and data storage is not that expensive anymore, it's sometimes more interesting to just move and sync all the data and all the records, instead of already making some decision about which pieces of information that you want to keep. And what does this mean is that you have an extraction, for instance, again with the HubSpot API, you will load all the customers into a database. Afterwards, somebody that wants specific projection on that information simply can write a query on its own, or can use Power BI to just query specific pieces of that information. If you would have transformed all that information, then of course you can only present in your dashboarding tools whatever is present in the centralized warehouse. And that's why we more believe in this approach of just extract and load and then transform in another system. And it's also something that's made popular by the DBT guys. And the DBT as a technology, a very interesting technology to transform, in fact, large sets of data.
All right, thank you, Gary. I have no questions anymore for you, Gary. Do you want to share something from your own about the platform?
I've seen that Philippe has mentioned indeed that data literacy is a serious problem in companies. That's true, and it plays on many different levels. First thing, when you onboard new employees, bringing those people up to speed immediately and as fast as possible is very difficult, because information and context and meta information is always just kept in the minds of the people that are the data owner most of the times. We had some very, very good intentions, like for instance with data catalogs, but it doesn't really solve the entire problem of data literacy. We need a combination of observability. We need a combination combined with data lineage. With those 2 points, we try to solve, and we try to just give an answer to with our graph overview. And what Jeno is showing here in the screenshot is just a very simple version of the graph. We also show in the graph as well the technologies and different infrastructure components and so on, so that you can at least have a sense of okay, this data is coming from that point and it's going to over there, and so when you see something fishy, something kind of wrong in your graph, you immediately can start diving into the entire data architecture to just go looking for what's the potential problem, and that's the observability part and the data lineage part. And then of course data literacy is also about the concepts. It's also about the semantics that you use. And for this, we try to give a solution with the possibility to add extra context to any element in your data architecture. And that's in the form of a simple documentation screen. So that those are the different points that we try to help in solving, or at least gain a couple of steps in this data literacy issue.
Another question of Patrick.
Yeah.
So business analysts can get data easily from data sources, tie these sources together and add visualization?
Well, we don't solve the visualization part, but we know there are great tools like Power BI and the Google Data Studios and Tableau and so on, and ClickSense. We provide a solution to centralize your data. And then it's very easy to just connect your existing visualization tool to that particular database. And since everybody with the self-servicing capabilities, everybody could host its own data set, its own database, we can also try to isolate different types of information as well. So we're not going end-to-end to the visualization part, but we stop immediately in front of it. Yeah.
All right. Some more questions? Nope. I think. Do you have some more to say, Gregory?
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, we're happy to hear from you guys, and you can send it later to our email address. We're happy to hear from you guys what type of integrations that you really would need, and that really would be useful for you to just do your day-to-day job. Because with this new layer, we try to focus on really the profile of the data analyst and the business analysts. We at this point we have 10 different integrations, data sources that we can connect to each other. Of course, that's not enough, but that's why just to have a focus point, we would like to hear from you guys what are the things that you use in your day-to-day business.
Okay. So I'd like to thank Jano and Gregory. I've seen that a couple of people are running around. This is a still image, but people move, and you can move towards someone and form a circle like some people do there, and then talk to each other and see each other. Up to 15 people can be meeting each other. I saw Jaco there. There's also Daphne is there. So all these people connected to Tengu who can explain more about what the platform can do for business analysts, data analysts, and also data engineers, data scientists, and so on. So an all-round platform for doing everything with data, and particularly getting value out of that data, which is so important for people or for companies who want to become data-driven or do a digital transformation and a data-first strategy. So thank you, Tengu, for being here. Thank you for sponsoring our event. And I wish you all a lot of success in the future.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you.